Hey, so we are back at the Flakpanzer restoration. It's January the 20th today, and we've got a bit of a show and tell set up for you guys. So Neil, can you tell us what's been going on first of all?
What the primary thing going on lately is if you'll notice all the mess around us, we've started to become overwhelmed with all the work and parts that have stacked up. So we're working on the workshop and today and the last 2 weekends, trying to tidy it up, make ourselves more room so we can lay our stuffs out neatly. Neatness is kind of a necessity when working on things, because it helps you find them better, and it promotes goodwill and good workmanship, if you want to say that. In the meantime, the chassis itself, we haven't been doing anything on it since the end of 2017. However, some of the chaps have been taking some of the internal parts home that have been pulled out, that were rust damaged or dissolved for that matter. A couple of the items here that we have changed out or have got repaired now and ready for reinstallation. Rob has gone ahead and done a wonderful job on the driver's seat. As you can see, this was all pretty well we had left of it, plus a few other pieces. The mounting frame, etc., that it sat on the floor, they were all, as you can see, pretty well dissolved, not serviceable anymore, not really ready to be not readily rebuilt. So some things you just have to bite the bullet and do a refab on it. So as you can see, that is what we started with when we pulled it. And this is what our good workman Rob has done here as far as restoring the seat. As you can see, he's redone the frame, the mounting frame that bolts the floor of the tank, the frame of the seat, and the cushion. So I'll let him to give you a brief description of what he had to do, and you can just let you know what's really involved here when it comes to working with horrible rotted out parts like this. And
so when I got it home, obviously these parts weren't serviceable, but fortunately there was enough of them left that I could take measurements of at least each part, even though there should have been two sides. There was enough at least I knew a general idea what the dimensions were and what it should look like ultimately. What I was able to save is these two side bars, which are the adjusting. They adjust the back of the seat. They can actually lay right down. The upper part and the springs, except for one spring, I could save. One spring I actually had replaced back here. It was rotted out on one side. Once I got it all moving, because of course with the rust, it was seized solid. You couldn't get the back to move or anything. I finally got the hinges apart, got this all freed up with lots of WD-40. Assessed what I had to remanufacture. Fortunately, I have a father-in-law, Carl Weens, who is an iron worker, and he helped me out with a lot of the welding. So I got all the pieces ready and went up to the in-laws for Christmas, and we went right at it. And I was quite happy the way it turned out. I went to Fabric Land and got some material for the seat and did a lot of sewing and pricking on my fingers, but I was quite happy the way it turned out.
let's show them how it pulls apart here, Rob. They can see the work you've done individually on the seat and the mounting frame.
So you can actually adjust if you've got bigger legs than normal. Okay, I can actually slide the seat backwards and forward to adjust for the leg, and then just wing nut it back down again and tighten it down. If you lift on the one side here, we can show how it just side right here. Yeah. And you can see how the seat would adjust. Would actually lay down, I guess, if the guy wanted to go that way, or if you lift it back, however, whatever angle he wants it on.
That would have been a regular seat, so a Panzer driver would need to lay that down backwards so that he could get out, swing over, reach into the back, and reach some of the other materials, the things he would need to do while he's driving or stopped. Can we take it right out the frame and show the individual constructions what you've done?
Sure, certainly, yeah.
Sure. Okay,
on the back of it, you can see I got it bent, the pipes bent exactly the way they were, and that replaced this part. I was able to save the hinges and the springs. It was a very, very basic construction, but very utilitarian. It works very well.
And of course the frame was completely dissolved, so...
But again, fortunately enough there so we could get the measurements and redo it exactly the way it was. So these little side jobs are helping us along so that we won't have to do all this at the end of the project.
This is these small side jobs are quite critical because you go ahead and you get the main tank done and then you find out you've got all this stuff piled up. And it's just no simple job of spending an afternoon hour. This type of work takes hours and hours and hours, and a good degree of dedication and professionalism as well to make it look exactly the way it's supposed to and as it was.
I probably spent 40 hours in total.
Yeah.
Sewing and welding and painting, getting it apart. But well worth the effort. I was very happy the way it turned out.
Yes, it does look excellent.
Okay, I guess we better call over Andrew.
Yeah.
So now we're with Andrew here. Can you tell us a bit about yourself and your piece for show and tell?
Yep. My name's Andrew Schaefer. I'm a heavy-duty mechanic by trade for like 15 years, and I collect a lot of German World War II rifles and other field gear. I heard about the project last winter and talked to Guy and got out here, wanted to be a part of it, just lend a hand. So over the summer, we took this fan tensioning pulley system out of the back of the tank there. Was totally rusted, seized, nothing worked, nothing had obviously been touched since it got here. So I took it home, painstakingly disassembled it, submerged each piece in electrolytic bath for a long time, and removed all the rust, surface prepped it, cleaned everything, sourced a new spring for the internals here, and reassembled it, and it's back in working order.
And I heard you say you found some German markings on it as well?
Yeah, after the heavy scale was taken off the base plate here, there's a Waffenamt, which is a little German eagle with a swastika, and a number code, which was attributed to a certain factory, and then there's a 3-letter maker code, which is also pretty common on most German parts, gear, guns.
Yeah. Well, thanks for your time.
Yeah, no problem.
See you guys in a couple weeks.